What's up, YouTube? Happy Friday. It's time for the morning brew. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a great Friday. Hopefully you are watching this on a Friday. Otherwise, it's an awkward time for you, because if it's this Monday and it's my Friday, I'm in the past and you're in the future. But in a Monday future. Mundane future. Anyways, a couple of things to share. Our Facebook fan page currently sits at 99 fans. Woo! Wishing it would hit the 100 already, because it's been about 3 or so weeks since I opened it. It's okay. Patience. Patience is a virtue, and as I was reminded by a fellow YouTuber, things come to those who wait, and of course be true to yourself and do what you feel is quality entertainment. Although, as my wife pointed out to me as she was watching the show, a little quote-unquote thought bubble area here, as she put it. Well, she said that, and I'm hearing a plane. I hope you're not hearing it, but you probably are, because that's the way my life works, and that's the way San Diego is. And I'm nowhere near an airport, but I'm right above the damn traffic. Anyways, as my wife pointed out that this is a thought bubble area, I started thinking about it and realized, wow, I'm making a really low quality version of the soup. Fun times, I love the soup. But now when I mean really low quality, I mean really low. I don't have no bankini or anything like that. But, oh well. I still enjoy doing this show, so I'm going to keep doing it the way I do it. Anyways. So with that, it is Friday. It is fun times ahead for the weekend. I get a parents' night off tonight with my wife. Hopefully that involves drinking and partying with friends, aka sit around, drink some wine, and have some fun conversation with one of our friends. Which, that to me is fucking fantastic. Yeah, I cursed again, I don't care. Deal with it. Anyways, let's get with the news, since we do have that fun little limit I want to keep under that 20-minute mark. And that's already 2.5 minutes or so have been used up. 2.5, 5 seconds and counting. Anyways, so to start off the weekend news, Apple has announced that they will be taking in their own product for what they call responsible recycling for free. Basically, you can take your old Apple products, and if it's still within working condition and it looks good, you might actually get some store credit for it and be able to buy something new with it. Now, no word if they'll be taking any competitors' product in, but Tim Cook, who said, basically was quoted as saying, "We want to leave the Earth in a better condition than how we found it." Which I'm all for. Taking care of the planet is a priority to me, and I recycle regular basis. You know, getting the money for the cans doesn't hurt. But it's also, you know, it's a good idea. I mean, I got a couple iPods sitting around that I don't use anymore, that I'm not willing to sell, because it's kind of like, I'm going to get $50 at GameStop if I'm lucky. So, they just sit around, and I'm probably going to recycle them, take them to the Apple Store, maybe get some iTunes cards or something. Hopefully I get something. If not, oh well. C'est la vie. So, if you're interested, like I said, Apple stores will be taking it in. I believe that the program has already started, so you can contact your local Apple Store and see if the responsible recycling program is now active. In other news, GameStop 3.0 initiative has begun. Assimilation is inevitable. Actually, GameStop 3.0 initiative is actually the code word for the company's latest projected program, meaning what they feel will be the future for GameStop. Now, they admit that GameStop and games are now very closely related to each other, in the sense that you can't think of one without thinking of the other eventually. Granted, the word game is in the name GameStop, and the fact that they will basically rip you off like crazy if you've ever seen the memes. It's no joke when they show 50 games and it's like, retail costs, let's say $5,000. GameStop will give you a full $35.99. It's no joke, it does happen that way. For example, I brought in the Kingdom Hearts 3DS game Collector's Edition. They wanted to offer me a whopping $14 for it. I basically said, yeah, I'll just hold on to the game. Went on eBay that same night, and within a week, I ended up getting $89 for the $45 game. Not a bad turnaround for me. Really bad that I don't longer do business with GameStop in that sense. I refuse to, considering that if I'm just a little bit more patient, a lot of my games sold for close to what they sell them for used. And that's not a bad thing. It's keep that in consideration. But GameStop has said that even though they plan on moving forward with with the Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U games that they've been selling, the company's also keeping its eyes on the digital and wireless markets. As announced a few months back, GameStop is planning on making it possible to purchase back your digital content, meaning any games you bought through Xbox Live, PSN, the PlayStation Network, and so on. They're going to try and figure out a way to legally purchase it off your hands for store credit. Does that mean that that's the only extent they're going? No, they're going also the wireless route. They currently own, excuse me for reading, Spring Mobile and a few Cricket Wireless stores. Spring Mobile being a subsidiary of AT&T. Now, the GameStop 3.0 initiative basically states that they will be taking into the wireless market, because they project the $8 billion market will soon develop into a $50 billion market within 5 years. This basically means that GameStop will be taking trade-ins for cell phones at one point. And considering they have Cricket Wireless, iPhones and Android phones abundant. Now, does it sound like a good idea or a bad idea? To me, it sounds like an okay idea. They're not the first people I think about when I think of a used cell phone. I usually go the eBay route. And they're not usually the person I think about to sell back digital content. Half my digital content is lost when Microsoft decides to take it off the download capability. And then if you lost your Xbox for any reason, like I had when it red ringed, and they took it in and didn't allow me to back up any data at the time, I lost 2 or 3 of my games because I didn't think about it. So, I don't know, GameStop's 3.0 initiative sounds like a good idea for the investors and such, but it sounds like it's just going to be another rip-off capability. Walmart's already competing with them on the video game front, and stores like Best Buy and them already take recycling, although it would be nice if you could get paid, because you have companies who do take cell phones here in the States and the little kiosk machines where you slip in your phone and you tell it, it's this kind of phone, this is blah, 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 and it scans the phone and basically determines that it is the phone you're talking about, and essentially gives you cash for the components. Granted, I don't know, GameStop has always come off as a company I can't trust. I worked for them for 2 occasions for about 6 months at a time, and and I'll say this openly because I have nothing to hide. When I was working for them, they were paying me via a banking card instead of a check or cash, and unfortunately, you could never empty out the card. You had to basically, well, for one, they wouldn't take the card almost anywhere else but GameStop unless you went to the particular bank that, by the way, isn't a bank that's available in California, so you have to always pay a fee to get the money out. So, anytime I got paid my $400 or whatever it was at the time, I had to go pay a fee to get the $300 out one day, and then a fee to get the remaining 100 and something. But if there was like $17 left in my account, I had no choice but to use them at GameStop or hope that whatever store I went to took an actual debit non-Visa card. They held this practice for a few years, and I didn't like it, and I was very disappointed in them. And the second time I worked for them, same thing happened, and I only stayed for a short period of time, only because it was literally a job of, I worked graveyard shift, I got nothing better to do during the day, I guess I could work at GameStop for a little bit, and a discount would be nice. So, GameStop to me is not a company I trust. They haven't been for a long time. And quite frankly, I don't think I've actually bought anything at GameStop in quite a bit. Yeah, because the last time I went in there was to try and trade in Kingdom Hearts, and they tried to rip me off. So then I went the Amazon route. Ended up getting the same game I wanted for about the same price, and then got bonus stuff mailed with it. So, yeah, GameStop 3.0 doesn't sound like a new thing to me. Speaking of not a new thing to me, Google opened a brick and mortar store, quote unquote, and closed it. Essentially what they did was opened a Google Glass supplier, but apparently they were only open for a short period of time, and they were only intended for the Explorers program participants. You know, those people that went on April 15th and paid the $1,500 up front to get the possibility of getting it. Well, this was basically a support store. It was a way to get you to go pick up your Google Glass and get some little support and figure out how it works. And now they're gone. They'll be closed within a few days. The funny thing is, I finally saw one person with Google Glass walking around, and it was at WonderCon. And the thing is so freakishly tiny on your eye. I mean, first of all, you have this huge thing that sits on your ears, and then nothing on this eye, and this tiny penny-sized screen that sits further above front of your eye and slightly removed from the bottom. So I get that from our perspective of that up close, it must look amazing, but I still don't see the appeal of Google Glass. I still don't see the need to have augmented reality available to us. I think the technology is still so new that it just doesn't make sense to me. That and Google's already got contact lenses that work the same and patented and working, apparently, but not the way they want. For what I understood, those lenses is like check your glucose, so diabetics like me don't need to poke their fingers anymore, and also they have cameras built in. Now that's a bad idea. Can you imagine pervs like me with cameras built into their eyes? The pictures. The pervies. Anyways, so yeah, don't try and find the Google stores. They're going to be gone before you even locate one, for the few that did open. Speaking of things opening up, Netflix, in response to Fire TV, is getting a cable channel. Three major cable providers, which would be RCN, Granite Communications, and Atlantic Broadband, will be offering the Netflix channel, provided that you have the specialty TiVo box they will be offering and providing for you. Now, this is, of course, in response to streaming services and requiring the internet. Basically, the way it's going to work is, think of it as your Blu-ray player that has Netflix built in is also your cable box, and doesn't play Blu-ray. So essentially, you'll have a Netflix button if your TV doesn't already have that available to it, like mine does, on all of them, or my Wii, or my PS3, or my 360, or 3DS, iPhone, iPad, Kindle, laptop, PC, dog, kid, shoe, cup, camera. Sorry, getting lost there. It doesn't sound like a bad idea, considering the service will be offered as a bundle with your cable provider, especially if you're not currently a Netflix subscriber. If you are a Netflix subscriber, it seems kind of redundant, because if you are a subscriber, you obviously have a way to watch it, because, quite frankly, I don't know anybody actually sits at their PC and watches it. Most people I know are on their iPad or watching it on an actual TV. So, they expect to reach about 50,000 subscribers, in addition to what they currently have. I say good for Netflix. Way to think ahead and stay ahead of the competition. Amazon has HBO. Well, screw them. We're taking cable companies. Huzzah! Oh. Last but not least, Jem and the Holograms, the movie. I already talked about it. I mentioned how They basically want to have a casting done via Twitter and whatnot. Well, Jem's been casted with a little taste of Sharknado. Aubrey Peebles, I hope that's how it's pronounced, the girl who played the daughter in Sharknado, will be playing Jem, the pink-haired rock star from the old 80s cartoon. Now, John Chu, the director, did say in their video that they were taking on who would you want to play so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, with basically a hashtag attachment to your audition via Twitter and whatnot. Now, does this mean that they lie to us and they're casting whoever they want? Not necessarily. I can understand why you kind of want to have somebody who already has recognition or has some serious acting experience behind them and underneath their belt as your lead role, but that doesn't mean that everybody in the movie's been cast. Personally, I love Sharknado. I think Sharknado was an awesome, horribly bad movie. I have an autographed poster that I treasure greatly, and of course Funko announced the Sharknado Funko, which me and my wife agreed must have an add to Wall of Funko. By the way, if anybody wants to add to the Wall of Funko, I'm more than happy to accept donations. It's not a cheap hobby. Funko donations? Let me know. Anyways, so the Jem movie is set to start filming later this year, which could mean a release by the end of the year for holiday season or early season in early first quarter of 2015. My hopes for the Aubrey Peebles as the star are none. I really show little to no interest in this movie, but that doesn't mean I might not watch it. So, let me know what you think. Are you hoping that the Sharknado twist will help, or are you thinking that maybe it's a little too early to call it a win? With that, thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. And if you're at Kingdom Con, say hi to all my friends and hello to all of you. And of course, I'll see you Monday or whenever I see you. And until then, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Enjoy your brew. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the end of the video. I really appreciate every minute you spend with me. So here's the other thing I need from you. I need you to click the subscribe button. I need you to click on those playlists down there, the Nerd Block, the Morning Brew playlist, of course Late Night Rants, which I know I haven't gotten around too much, but I will, I promise. And of course, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, hit up GeekyCastillo.com. I write some great articles and reviews, and I'm constantly trying to interact with you. That's all I'm asking for. A little click, a little tickle, maybe get a pickle.